I just want you to know that these thieves are working together. They're working together in these networks. It's not just one or two. It's a whole network of them. And when they take your car, they take it out of state and they either chop it or they sell it to somebody. Let's watch this video. This is interesting.
He set out to track his stolen Dodge Charger.
So he was going to track it.
He may have uncovered a pipeline for stolen rides.
A pipeline.
A Brooklyn, New York man used a tracking device to find his car.
Mm-hmm.
News 4's Jackie Benson explains how police traced the electronic path from New York here to Prince George's County. And
it went from New York to Prince George's County, man, because he had a tracking device in his car, which was either
2022
we'll look
Dodge
at it.
Charger Scatpack.
2022 Dodge Charger Scatpack, estimated $58,000.
The blue car on the right.
That's kind of high, but I'll take it. And then another one, 2021 Dodge Charger Scatpack in the blue.
Both were stolen in New York last
Both
week.
were stolen in New York, same night.
And ultimately found in the driveway of a house in Prince George's County.
So from New York to Maryland,
to say his car
both
had been
Chargers.
stolen in Brooklyn, and the tracker he'd installed showed it was on Claudia Drive.
And he had a tracker. See what I'm saying? Gotta have a tracker. Gotta have something to track these cars, guys.
Check it out. Observed several men standing
Let's fast forward it.
Dodge Chargers. The men quickly placed
not one but two stolen Chargers. One guy.
Arrested the next day when members
both of them arrested. See what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna do an intro on this video. But that's what happened. So two Dodge Charger Scat Packs. One was gray, right? That kind of midnight gray. And then the other one was blue. Both of them Scat Pack Chargers. Both of them stole the same night. Both of them stole in Brooklyn, New York. And then both of them were subsequently driven down to Maryland. And they were driven down to the same address because of that's owned by the same people. These guys are working together. It's not an accident. You know what I'm saying? The first thing that I see that these dudes do is they steal our cars. And one or two things happen. One thing's for sure. They drive it out of the state, right? Like in the South, down here, normally they'll take it somewhere to Georgia, right? That's what I've seen. Normally these cars end up in Atlanta somehow, some way. So, you know, from Charlotte, from South Carolina, they'll end up in Atlanta, Georgia somewhere. I guess, well, I memean, you know, like I know, Atlanta, Georgia is the hub for stolen Chargers and Challengers. Let's just keep it real. And one or two things will happen. Either they'll be stripped of everything that has your name on it, right? The VIN number will probably be stripped off. As you know, Dodge puts VIN numbers on the engine, but they put it in such a way that it has to be read by a special device, right? Like you can't just look at it, take a picture of it, and oh, there's the VIN number. It's got to be read by some sort of special device, to my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. So they'll either rip everything off that's got your name on it, right? Rip the VIN number off and sell it at a complete loss for you because you paid $58,000, $68,000, $78,000 for it, and they're going to sell it for $8,000 or $9,000 just to make a quick flip. Or they're going to completely bust it down, take the engine out, the wheels off, brake calipers, take the steering wheel if it's a SRT steering wheel. You have no idea how many people are in my DMs that want me to repost that they've got authentic SRT parts for sale. So many of these pages will tag me and DM me and say, hey man, I got a SRT steering wheel. I've got SRT authentic rims. I've got SRT Brembo brakes, and I've got this new 6.4 engine. If you could repost and let people know that I'm selling all this stuff. No, I'm not reposting it. I'm not responding to you. I'm not interacting with you. As soon as I see that DM, I'm deleting it immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because you and I both know that you did not obtain those parts by legal means. Let's keep it 100 here. You stole all that shit off of somebody's car, or better yet, you stole the car and then you took the parts off of that stolen car. And now you want me, a Dodge YouTuber or influencer or whatever you want to call me, to repost it so that everybody knows that you're selling an SRT steering wheel. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And so that's what happens to these cars. And 9 times out of 10, that's what was going to happen with these two Chargers here, is they were going to get bust down and then sold part by part, if not completely sold entirely. You have no idea how many stolen Chargers and Challengers are literally just driving around the city, unbeknownst to the owner, or the owner knows, and it's one of those things like, I just can't get pulled over. And in that police video, the police video where I got pulled over, a lot of you guys was in the comments like, yeah, you didn't run because you didn't steal that car. Like, you own that car. Only people that run are people that steal cars. That's probably true. Some people do run, or quite a few people that steal cars do run. Obviously they have to, because if they get pulled over and the VIN number comes back to somebody else in another city, in another state, you got a big situation there. So quite naturally, they're going to run. But that's what they do, guys. They steal your car. They take it to a whole nother city and state, maybe even a whole nother part of the country. And before you know it, somebody else is sitting in your car, driving your car back and forth to work, car meets, car shows, all that shit, unbeknownst to you. You got to have, 9 times out of 10, this guy had a air tag in his car because they kept saying tracking device. Right. So long story short, 2 Chargers got stole. Both of them were stolen in Brooklyn. One was taken, or both of them were taken from Brooklyn to Maryland. Only one of the Chargers had a tracking device. He was able to use that tracking device, give it to police, and the police in Maryland pulled up on the guys, and like a bunch of dumbass criminals that they are, they were just in the front yard with both of the cars standing around. And that's when the police ran up on them and took both of them to jail. Right? All because of a tracking device. Right? Now, a lot of you guys have air tags in your car. That's all well and good. But you know what I'm pushing. Boom. And the reason I'm pushing this in this particular instance is because first off, this is CarLock for you guys that don't know, for you guys that haven't watched the last 500 of my videos. The reason I'm pushing CarLock in this particular situation, things could have been a little bit different, right? Number one, the fact that the guy's car got stolen and he probably didn't even realize it until the next morning, until it was already gone, lets you know that he didn't have any sort of security to let him know that his car was being broken into, right? So those criminals had all day long to basically do whatever they needed to do in his car in order to steal it. He had no security. That's where CarLock comes in, vibration detection, right? As soon as you bust that window, you get a notification. Something's going on with your car. And I'll give you an example of how sensitive this thing is. So I had my car parked, and I think I may have already told this story. I had my car parked outside because it had just gotten washed. And I wanted it to get some sun so it would dry off a little bit or whatever. And I needed to go somewhere, so I hopped in my daily, took off. And I got a notification. So I got 2 notifications. The first one was from CarLock, and the second one was from my CompuStar. Vibration detection. I'm freaking out because I just left my Hellcat outside of the house, outside of the garage, to get some sun because it just got finished washing and I wanted to dry off. So I just got the notification. I'm freaking out. Long story short, this is a testament to how sensitive CarLock was. What happened was my radar detector that you guys have been telling me to get off of my window and get it on the blend mount thing or whatever, it fell off of the window and it hit the dashboard. And apparently, you know, falling from the window to the dashboard made some sort of ruckus. And long story short, my CarLock went off. My CarLock was the first thing to go off, and then my CompuStar went off. I'm freaking out because I'm thinking somebody's trying to break into my car while I'm not home. It turns out it's just my radar detector that fell off of the window, right? And I'm telling you that to tell you how sensitive CarLock is. So you can imagine if someone's breaking into your window or yanking on your door knob and this, that, and the other, you're going to get some sort of notification. So that's number one. You would have got a notification right off the bat for somebody trying to break in, right? As soon as he gets in the car, he puts his weight on the car, starts shaking it. You would have got another one. As soon as that car starts, engine started, that's how you know your car is pretty much gone, right? Your car is on its way somewhere and you're not in it, right? And then you'll get another one that says vehicle moved, obviously, because the car has been moved. At that point, you know your car is stolen. But as long as that device is plugged into that OBD, you've got a tracker. You've got a 24/7, regardless of where it goes, tracker. Worldwide tracker, right? So in every scenario of these 2 cars being broken into, CarLock would have been there for you. You know what I'm saying? It would have been there to alert you that something's going on. And then it obviously would have been there to alert you that, hey, listen, this car is in Maryland at this point, at this address. Like, you can track it that well. So CarLock definitely would have came into play significantly if he had something. 9 times out of 10, based on what the description of the news station was saying, it sounded like he just had an air tag in his car, which worked, which worked. I do recommend air tags as well. Air tags is nothing but a GPS tracking device. That's all it's going to do. It's not the best, but some people swear by it. I have a couple in my car just in case. But that's not my first means of defense when it comes to this car. I hope you guys can see me. I'm sorry. Let me let a little light in. But that's not my first means of attack as it pertains to, my car, or defense as it pertains to my car. That's kind of like, that's the least of the least, if that makes sense. But with the CarLock, you always got the GPS, you got the vibration detection, engine start, vehicle move. He would have been notified immediately that something's going on with his car. And even if he wasn't around his car at the time, he would have been able to track, real-time track where his car was going. But fortunately for him, he had some sort of GPS device in his car. So he was able to see that it was in Maryland. So that's what I'm saying. When these guys steal these cars, guys, you would be hard pressed to find it in your city and state again. Because I can almost guarantee you that shit is on its way somewhere else. If you're in the South and your car gets stolen, you're in the North Carolina, South Carolina area, your car is probably going to Georgia somewhere. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the Florida area, your car is probably still going to be in Florida, but not in your city or whatever the case may be. Or it may be on its way to Georgia. Because that's where a lot of the, let's keep it real, a lot of the scammers and the you know, the thieves and all that stuff, that's where they get down, right? One of my homeboys, his red-eye Charger got stolen in 2021. As a matter of fact, his shit got stolen in Charlotte, and it was on 77 headed, or 85. It was on 85 headed to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? That's the last time they saw it. And then, of course, they never saw that car ever again. So that's what they do. They work in teams. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. If your car gets stolen and your homeboy's car gets stolen in the same night, I guarantee you that's not an accident or a coincidence. And they're probably on the same team working together. And that car is going somewhere to either get bust down and chopped up, or the VIN number, all that stuff is going to be ripped off of it, and it's going to be somebody else's car. And it's going to be wrapped, you know, it's going to be wrapped somehow or another differently. Like, wasn't there a situation where there was a YouTuber, he may have been in either Georgia or Florida, but somehow or another his Charger Scatpack got stolen, and somebody who, the people that stole it, took it to Florida, and it got rewrapped. And I think one of the rappers down there, Spot 'em Got 'em, was driving it, and then it got shot up or something like that. There's a YouTuber where that actually happened too. That happened to him. I can't remember his YouTube channel, but his scat got stolen, and then they wrapped it. They did a poor wrapping job. Somehow or another, Spot 'em Got 'em, the rapper, was driving it, and the car got shot up. And it's like, that's not even his car. That's somebody else's car. But that's what I'm saying, guys. These guys are working in tandem. They're working together. So I'm saying all that to say, especially right now, the holidays is here. So this shit is at an all-time high, right? Holidays, holiday travel, not to mention people want to break in just because they want to see what's in the car, especially if you take your Charger or your Challenger to the outlets, to the mall, to a department store, right? They're looking at it like, okay, so he's probably got some merchandise in the trunk, in the back seat, what have you, right? So let me go ahead and not even try to steal the car. I just want to break in and take a peek. You guys need some sort of security, man, and I'm going to keep pushing CarLock. And I know a lot of you guys swear by it, but obviously I swear by it as well. It's plugged in as we speak. But in this particular scenario, I'm glad they got their car back. Apparently there was no damage. They transported both of these cars from Maryland back to New York. But it's just interesting because they're working together. It's not a coincidence or an accident. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of these Chargers and Challengers that get stolen and then housed at one particular location. Like, you'd be surprised if you found out how, if you found out where these cars were stolen, you would see, oh yeah, it's stolen and it's being housed in the same place that my other homeboy's car was stolen. Like, there's probably lots full of stolen Dodge Chargers and Challengers that nobody knows about, you know? So, as always, guys, just protect yourself. Be smart about it. If you don't have to have your car out, don't. I only pull this car out on the best of days, to be honest with you. And I only take this car in the best of locations and places and so on and so forth. But, as always, Beanie Boy Knockout 360, just hitting you guys with another video. It is holiday season, which means it's robbing season, so just be careful out there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.